In today's video, I'll be showing you how to solve some questions under limit of a function. So the topic is limit of a function, then these are questions under limit of a function where LT stands for limit. It's an abbreviation for limit, LT. So either you write it LT or you write it in full, limit. It's a short form of writing limit. So this is LT of s to the power of 3 plus 5x to the power of 2 minus x plus 4 as x approaches 2, or you can say as s tends to 2, or as s approaches 2. Any one you choose is correct, or anyone you want to use is correct. So we start by solving question 1, which says LT of x to the power of 3 plus 5x to the power of 2 minus x plus 4 as x tends to 2. Now, this topic, limit of a function, this majorly on substitution. You must know how to substitute the value of x into this question. That is what it is all about. So, for this particular question now, this first question, we substitute directly. We do what is called direct substitution. Now, when you do direct substitution of 2 in place of x here, now we do it, we say 2 into the power of 3 plus 5 into the power of 2 to the power of 2 minus x, substituting for 2, you have 2 plus 4. Now don't forget to put your limits because we're working on limit of function as x approaches 2. As s approaches 2. Then now we expand, we open up the bracket. 2 to the power of 3 is 8 plus, now from here this is 5 into 2 to the power of 2 is 4. 2 to the power of 2 is 4 minus 2 plus 4. Now moving further, this times this is 20 minus 2 plus 4. Now this plus this is 28 minus 2 plus 4. 28 minus 2, 26. 26 plus 4 equal 30. Now the limit x to the power of 3 plus 5x to the power of 2 minus x plus 4 as s approaches 2 is equal to 30. That'll be our final answer. Now don't make this mistake for this 5x to the power of 2. Some people might want to resolve this into like saying 5 times 2 is 10, then 10 to the power of 2 is equal 100. This is totally wrong. This is wrong. That's not the way to do it. Once you are having a 5 to the power of 2, now the first step to take is to expand this bracket here. To expand this thing first. This thing is 2 to the power of 2. Now keeping this 5 dot, because it's 5 times this number here. Now 2 to the power of 2 is 4. Now 5 times 4 is equal 20. Now you can see 100 is not equal to 20. So 20 is the correct answer. So that was why we have 20 here initially. So that's for question 1. Now move on to the next question. Question 2. Question 2 says LT of 2n to the power of 2 plus 3n all over 3n to the power of 2 plus 4n as n tends to infinity. Now the trick here is, now the trick in solving this is just dividing through by the greatest power of n. And now what's the greatest power of n here? The greatest power of n here is n to the power of 2. That's the greatest power there. Now if it was to be n to the power of 4 over n to the power of 3, for instance, minus 2 minus 5n. For instance, you divide through by the greatest power of n. What is the greatest power of n here is n to the power of 4. You divide through by this n to the power of 4 here. Now, in this case now, in this our question here, we are having 2n to the power of 2, 3n to the power of 2. Now we are dividing through by n to the power of 2 in this particular question. Now, see what I'm going to do. 2n2 all over n to the power of 2 plus 3n over n to the power of 2 all over 3n2 all over n to the power of 2, dividing through by the greatest power 4n all over n to the power of 2. Now, see what I'm going to do next. N to the power of 2, n to the power of 2. The 2 we cancel out, gives us 1. Now, n divide n here. We're having n to the power of 2 here. We're having 1n here. We're having 2n here. Now, this one we cancel 1. Then 1n will be left out here. Now, the same thing applies to this. N to the power of 2, n to the power of 2 not to be left out here. Now, the same thing applies here. 1n will be left out here. Now, from here, just know that it is a okay, should I call it a trick now? Or it is what you should know. It is what you should know, and it's also a trick actually. 3 divided by n. Now, when you substitute limit of n tends to infinity, 3 divided by infinity is equal to 0. You should know that 3 divided by n or 3 divided by infinity is equal to 0. The same thing applies here. 4 divided by infinity is equal to 0. Now, we move on. This is 2. I left the 2 here plus 0 because this is 0 all over 3 plus 0, which is equal to 2 over 3 as our final answer for that limit. For that very limit. So that's that. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click the subscription button below. It's right there below the video. Now move on to question 3. Question 3 says limit of 3x. This is quite similar to what we did before. Oh, okay, I'll use direct substitution for this. As x tends to minus 3. As x tends to minus 3. You can actually try it at your own leisure if when you divide through by the greatest power of x, because it cannot only be n, it can be any letter. So now we're having this. Now let me use direct substitution. If you substitute directly into this, you will be getting a 0 in the numerator. Let's see. Now 3 into minus 3 to the power of 2 minus 27. Now this is 3 into 9 minus 27. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 minus 27 is equal to 0. Now, in this limit of a function, we avoid getting 0. We avoid getting 0 as an answer. Now, if this is the case, if 0 is the case, then you apply a rule. You apply a rule called L'Hopital's rule. L'Hopital rule simply means differentiating this function once to avoid getting the 0. That is why we are applying L'Hopital rule. Once you get a 0, you apply L'Hopital rule. Now, if you get to a 0 after the application, then you leave it like that. Or you keep on differentiating until you get another number outside 0. That is what the rule says. Okay, now let's apply L'Hopital rule into this question here. Now, if you differentiate 3x to the power of 2, you get 6x. Now, this is 0. If you differentiate the constant, you get the 0. If you differentiate this, you get 1. If you differentiate 3, you get a 0 there. Now, as x approaches minus 3, now 6 into minus 3 over 1 is equal to minus 18 over 1, which is equal to minus 18 as our final answer for that particular limit. Now, we move on without wasting time. Move on to the next question. Question 4, which says LT 3x cubed, minus 2x2 plus 4x over x squared plus 5x as x approaches 0. Now, this we use the greatest power to divide through. Okay, now we solve this by dividing through with the greatest power. Now, the greatest power in this question here is x to the power of 3. Now, we divide through by x to the power of 3 all over x to the power of 3 minus 2x2 over x to the power of 3 plus 4x over x to the power of 3 dividing through x to the power of 2 all over x to the power of 3 plus 5x over x to the power of 3. You see, or dividing through by the greatest power, it must be the same. Now dividing through x to the power of 3, x to the power of 3 will cancel out, will be left with 1 here. Now all these things return to 0 without wasting time. All this return to 0, because we substitute limit 0, everything that will be 0. Everything that will be 0 automatically.